Good everyone, welcome to another virtual yoga club session. Today our session is called 5 breaths because every pose that we go through today we're going to hold it for 5 nice deep slow breaths. It's a bit of a shorter practice today, but it is nice and slow and you'll still get the benefits of all the stretches that we're going to do. First up today we're going to start with 2 poses together. We are going to transition from cobra into here, back to cobra, back to here for 5 breaths each. I'm going to turn that music down, this is quite loud. Okay, so starting in our cobra pose, we're going to put our hands under our shoulders, elbows tucked into the sides. Remember 5 slow, deep breaths in each pose. Starting with our foot pose, we're going to lift the head up to extend the neck, using the core and the glutes to lift up, then engaging the arms, making sure not to lock the elbows. Breathing into the belly, nice and deep. Once you've done those 5 breaths, pushing back into our here pose, bring the knees to the sides of the mat, down for another 5 deep breaths. Transitioning back into that cobra starting position, elbows tucked in, spine up, core and glutes, arms engaged, 5 deep breaths. Pushing back into our heel pose, or child's pose if you prefer. Once you've done those 5 deep breaths in our here pose, coming back up to our hero pose. Okay, a lot of our poses today are split between left and right sides of the body, and any that aren't, just like cobra, we're going to repeat twice. So if we're splitting the sides of the body like we're about to do with a lunge, we're just going to do left and right, but if it's just a full body pose like cobra that we just did, we'll do it twice through. I'm going to start you in this kneeling position here, bringing the right leg up in front of you. We're going to bring our arms up, and we're going to twist. So my right knee is up, my left hand is on the outside of my right knee. My right arm's just tucked behind my back, and I'm looking over my right shoulder for 5 deep breaths. Good. Bringing those arms back and down. We're going to swap sides. Left knee out in front this time. Bring the arms up and twist. Right hand on the outside of left knee. Left arm behind your back, looking over your left shoulder. Once you've done those breaths, bringing the arms back and down. Now if you find it hard on the knees to do any sort of kneeling poses, I can recommend just fold the edge of your mat over so it doubles it up and that cushions it a little bit more. Otherwise you can use something like a towel, like a sweet towel, or even double up your mats if you've got two. Okay, low lunge done, into our downward dog. Starting that tabletop position, tucking the toes under. We're going to start with a little bit of walking dog for our first one today to loosen up the calves. Pushing the hips up and back. 5 deep breaths. Once you've done those 5 breaths, we're going to come down and into our heel pose again for 5 breaths. Slowly coming up, back to that starting position for downward dog. We'll do a static or still downward dog this time. Tuck the toes under, push the hips up and back. Dropping down into that heel pose one more time. Gently coming up again. Cool. Hopefully you guys are feeling alright so far, doing well. We're going to move into a left and right pose now called half camel or assisted camel. We're going to start with the left leg forward. So just come to that kneeling position again. Left leg forward. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach up and back and try and get my hand as close to my heel as possible to rest on. If you struggle to get your hand all the way back down to your heel, you can just reach it as far back as you can. I'm going to take a nice deep breath in, swing the arm back, rest on my heel, reaching my left arm up to the sky. Okay, we're going to counteract that one today with that runner's lunge that we did with the lizard the other day. Okay, swapping sides. Right leg coming forward, reaching the left arm up, find the heel, right arm up to the sky for 5 breaths. And counteracting that one with our runner's lunge. Okay, cool. Coming up to a standing position now. We're going to run through some standing poses before we get back down onto our mats. Okay, excuse the rain. We're going to start at the back of our mats, facing forward. Turn the right foot out to the side slightly, like when we did our triangle and warrior poses. Take a short step forward, so we're not doing a big lunge like if we were doing warrior pose. Short step forward, and the reason for this is because we're going to try and counteract what our hips are doing. So I'm going to rotate my hips to the front, and because my right foot is back, I'm going to think about pulling my right hip forward and pushing my left hip back. Let me say that again. Pulling my right hip forward, pushing my left hip back so that they balance out, and that's where you're going to really feel the stretch. If you can do prayer pose but behind your back, then go for it. Otherwise, if you're like me, just holding onto your hands or your wrists is fine. So, keeping those legs straight, thinking about push and pulling those hips. We're going to hinge forward from the hips and keep a flat back. Not too far. 5 deep breaths. Make sure you're not sinking down, keeping that back nice and straight, eyes forward. Slowly coming up. Okay, I'm going to go to the other end of my mat so I can keep facing the camera. Same thing again, remember that push and pull. This time we're turning our left foot out to the side, bringing the right foot forward. Hips to the front, hands behind your back. Pull the left hip forward, push the right hip back. Legs straight, hinge from the hips. Flat back. 5 breaths. When you're ready, slowly coming up, keep that control and shake it out. Good work. So as soon as you start to think about what your hips are doing is when you'll start to feel the intensity of the stretch. So really using your mind as well as your body. Okay, we're going to take our extensions. I've got to stop being so loud and clapping my hands. We're going to take our warrior extensions, peaceful and humble warrior, and do them on their own today. We're going to isolate them. So coming back to the back of your mats again. Hello, rain. Turn your right foot out to the side, just like we just did. This time we're taking a bit of a wider step, longer step forward, and we're going to bend our knees this time. Okay. Hips out to the side. I had to think about that for a second. Arms up at shoulder height. We're going to start with our peaceful warrior. So, back hand resting on that back leg. Front arm reaching up to the sky for 5 breaths. And transition into that humble warrior. Forearm resting on the thigh at the front, back arm comes up and across. Once you've done your 5 breaths, reversing that movement. Come out of the lunge, and we'll do the same on the other side. Left foot to the side, right foot forward. Nice and wide lunge. Hips open to the side. Remember that knee, make sure it's not falling into the middle and twisting. Arms up, we're going to go backwards first, so back arm reaching down to my back leg. Front arm reaching up to the sky. Remember, I'm not pushing on that back leg, just resting my hand. transitioning to the front, forearm on the thigh, back arm now reaches up and over the top. Good, slowly reverse that, come out of the lunge. Really good. Alright, take a drink break. Okay. We're going to be trees today for 5 deep breaths on either side. Starting with the right foot planted. We're going to bring that left knee up to the front, out to the side. Remember your 3 placements are toes on the ground, foot on the calf, or in the inner thigh. Once you're into that starting position, bring your palms to your chest for 5 slow deep breaths. Done those 5 breaths, gently come out of the pose, shake it out. Don't forget to find something in your eye line that isn't moving to fix on to help you stay nice and still. Alright, let's do the left side. Plant the left foot, bring the right knee up, out to the side, then plant your foot. Ooh, tricky on this side today a bit. Once you're in that pose, palms to chest, for 5 deep breaths. Okay, and relax. So in the middle of that one there, I was starting to lose my balance, so I brought my foot back down. That's totally fine. If you need to change halfway through a pose and adapt what you're doing, that's totally fine. That means you're listening to your body and you're doing what's best for you, and that's a really good way to avoid getting injured. So if I tried to stay there and then I fell out of it, I could have pulled a muscle somewhere, could have fallen over and hurt myself, knowing me. So just listen to your body, pay attention to what it's telling you. There's no shame in regressing a movement or adapting it to make it easier for you. Last standing pose for the day. We've got 3 poses left in total. We're going to do our wide-legged forward bend. So find a wide stance that's comfortable for you. Wide is going to be determined differently by everyone, so make sure that it's individual to you. We're going to use all the control in the muscles in our legs, hinging from the hips, going forward, and then either resting hands on the ground, you can reach back through your legs, resting behind your calves on your feet. You've got heaps of options, or if you have a block or something to rest on, even better. 5 deep breaths, here we go. Okay, to come out of that stretch, remember we're not going to use our arms or our upper body, we're going to use our legs and our core. Slowly coming up. If you need to, come out of that wide stance and just shake it out. Give your legs a rest before we do it one more time. If you're feeling a little confident in that pose, you can try and put your hands in a different place than last time. If you haven't tried reaching them back through, give that one a go. That really deepens the stretch for the hamstrings. Or even try a wider stance. Okay, ready. Using our legs, nice and controlled, hinging from the hips. Down we go. And place the hands. 5 deep breaths. Okay, when you're ready, slowly and controlled coming up. Well done. Okay, we're going to head back down onto our mats for pigeon now. Starting our pigeon in our high plank pose. Bring the left leg forward, left knee to left wrist, left heel goes under right hip. Remember, you've got a few options here. You can keep your hand planted, or you can come down to a low pigeon for 5 deep breaths. Once you've done your 5 breaths there, tuck the toes under, back into that plank, and we're doing the other side straight into it. Right knee to right wrist, right heel under left hip. If it's too easy, move that back leg back. Too hard, pick that back leg up and lessen the stretch. When you're ready, plant the hands, tuck those back toes under, back into that plank, drop the knees down, come to a seated position. So I'm going to say goodbye to you now before we do our last pose, because I want you to really rest and stay in that final resting pose for as long as you want to. Take it as a little bit of a moment to chill if you want to cue up some music to keep you going. So I'm going to hold this pose for a wee while, and then I'm just going to let the video fade out and let you chill for as long as you feel like. So our final pose is called reclining bound angle. So we're going to have our feet together like this while we lie back. So feet together in that kind of diamond pose. Lying back, hands wherever's comfortable. They can be on your belly, they can be beside you. We're going to start by taking 5 deep breaths, and then we're just going to chill.